Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Sometimes you think you are going to make something simple and then you feel like a horror movie. So I realized that I just don't make enough staples. By staples I mean things that I really like to wear and I could never have enough of, but for some reason I don't make any. I'm going to make today this simple silky bias skirt with an elastic waistband. For some reason I never made it before, which is really interesting, but I guess the answer is the materials, because I personally do not like to work with these slippery, unruly materials. Pattern I found on the internet, free pattern, amazing. Go in the description, you will find the link there. And I'm going to use this fabric. Unfortunately it is polyester. I have tons of this fabric because I ordered it for the project that I have not made and I will not make. The first thing I'm going to do today is to bring my extension table because I am going to need it today. Okay, here we go. So in the instructions they will tell you to cut a piece of elastic with the length of your waist with a little bit extra for the seam allowance. So this is what I already did. I think I will need two pieces. I have to say the instructions are quite interesting. This is my skirt and I am very careful with this because if you have never worked with the bias cut before, then you don't know that they get really easily misshaped and you have to be very careful when you manipulate them. That's why I'm not pulling it up and I don't let it hang. I need to be very careful with it. So the first thing they're asking me to do is to do 2 rows of basting stitch on the skirt in order that we can slightly gather it because the elastic is a little bit smaller than circumference of the waist here. Basting stitches should be done by hand. Don't worry, it's not going to be long. Honestly, I don't know if that did something or not. I highly doubt it, but they say do it, I do it. Maybe it's working more like with natural fabrics like silk and stuff, but honestly I don't know what was the purpose. I don't want to be judgmental because I'm not professional. The next thing they are asking us to do is to close the back seam by making a French seam. It's very simple. Normally you sew 2 pieces of fabric right sides facing and then you turn it right side out. This time you are going to sew 2 pieces of fabric with the wrong sides facing first, then you trim the seam allowance, you turn it wrong side out, and then you sew it again, and it's kind of like you are closing the raw edges in another seam. By the way, if you ever tried working with such fabric, you know that cutting is a disaster, and they always recommend instead of cutting it actually using rotary cut, which is great and it works really well, but my issue is that I don't have such a big mat and that makes it impossible. So basically what I did yesterday, I placed the sheet of cotton fabric first on the floor and then I put this fabric on the top of it. Cotton stopped this fabric from slipping and sliding. I was able to nicely draw the pattern pieces on the fabric and then I went with my scissors and I cut it really nicely. I am going to use paper at least at the beginning because sometimes if your fabric is too thin, the needle of the machine tends to push it down and your fabric gets stuck. So just to be safe, at least at the beginning, this is what I'm going to do. It does wonders, trust me. What will also make your life significantly better and easier if you sew these fabrics is to have new and sharp Microtex needle. You will save yourself a lot of tears. again, first I pin it and then I secure it with a row of stay stitches. Now I'm going to remove the pins and sew it. Trust me, the results are better and you are sewing without stress, which is always plus for me. So you can see that from inside the seam is really nice, no raw edges, and also when you look from outside it's really beautiful and clean. So this is called French seam. So the next step should be to insert the elastic. Then, in order to not have a bulky seam, you will just press the seam allowance like so, and you will sew it on the sides. So this is how it looks like at the end.
But it's so hard to move on. You haven't changed, you stayed the same. But if you...
Okay guys, so the elastic is sewn. I would like to say that I think the basting stitching at the beginning, here on the waist, I just find it annoying, to be honest. Maybe I'm missing something very important here, but next time I will try at least to skip it because I find it really unnecessary and more annoying than helpful. But that's just my personal experience. Anyway, let me show you what they want us to do now. You're supposed to take the same length of elastic, do the same thing, sew it in the loop. As you can see, this is the right side of the fabric, wrong side of the elastic. And then you should take the other elastic and place it so that wrong sides are facing like this, and sew it here with a zigzag stitch.
After 9, I still wish you were mine. Haven't ate in 7 days, 'cause I've...
So now this is what you're supposed to see. The raw edges in between two elastics. But so far it looks really nice. I'm surprised, I have to say. So now they want us to fold it inside like so. Press the edges, but you're supposed to stretch the elastic, maybe like so. So now you don't have any wrinkles here. And press it.
Same. I'd give you the world like I promised I would.
This is how it turned out. Honestly, better than I thought. But one last thing important to say: when you are cutting a bias skirt or dress, always before you go hem, let it hang at least for 24 hours, because all the fibers of the fabric are going to stretch out, and if you won't do this step and you will go directly to hem it, you will see after that your hem will be so wonky because the fabric relaxes after you hem it. So this is exactly what I'm going to do, and just after a second I will see you with the finished product. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you liked it. If you did, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and see you soon.